Good morning. Hi David, how you doing, my
Hi
friend?
Tim, hi everybody. I am very well, thank you, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm actually remarkably dandy on this fine Friday morning.
You're
It's
suddenly
so
up on
nice.
holiday.
As you can see, I'm having a few days away from the ranch, and it's so nice down here that I actually forgot it was Friday morning. It's one of those.
I did the exact same thing. I was making the tea and just looking forward to a nice, relaxed, chilled morning. I was like, I was supposed to be talking to Tim this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, actually, yeah, it's Friday. We
it's
made
Friday.
arrangements.
Yeah, I
It's
blamed the
good,
full
isn't it?
moon last night.
It was, wasn't it? That was remarkably powerful actually over the last couple of days, and I had some like seriously funky dreams last night too. It was
Really?
yeah, yeah, just lots of not almost like precognitive kind of stuff. Timeline potentials, all of these different things coming through, and as we're now moving into, we're coming up to mid-July, looming very close upon the horizon is the Lionsgate.
Of course, of course. I mean, Monday we had the 7-7 as well. Like,
Yeah,
did you feel that I got completely floored by that this week?
every year, every year it
Hmm.
gets me, without fail. Kind of, it's almost like the first 2 days I was like, I saw it coming. It didn't get me this year, and then literally, I think it was towards the peak of it, the like the 7-7 itself. I got absolutely hit with not with energy mismanagement like it usually feels, but just extreme fatigue. I needed to sleep,
Hmm.
and I heard reports from other people that they felt exactly the same way. And well, there's no such thing as coincidence, as there was a synchronicity in a post that I saw on Facebook that stated very clearly that the energies that were coming in were so much higher than we've ever been used to previously, that we have got to get ourselves on board. And if the body can't cope with the frequencies that are coming in, what does it do? It sleeps
Yeah.
or drops density.
Yeah.
Like, as we all found out in December, to our slight detriment, I think. So we'll forever call it jokingly the Great Plague of 2024. It was December, wasn't it? Like the Christ-like portals opened and everybody went to bed poorly. It was
Yeah.
it's quite something else, wasn't it?
Yeah. The world went to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Coughing,
Yeah.
moaning
For
about sore throats and things. But yeah, yeah,
for
here
me
we
on
are.
Monday, I was working. I was kind of getting. I wasn't quite like myself, and I was going about things as normal. And I came into my studio to start working in the morning, and I just burst into tears. And Leanne walked into the
Oh,
room. It's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I don't know."
it's the Sirius portal. It got me.
Yeah, no idea. No idea, but
Yeah,
that's the way it hits you, doesn't it? Sometimes
it
the energy
does.
just
It does.
overwhelms you. And as you say, some people sleep, some people purge. I was obviously releasing something in that moment that just
Yeah,
had to come up to the surface. And yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Like absolutely perfect that it came out like that. Really, my friend. It's
And no one escapes these things.
no.
Like, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing in the world, even if you're awake or not, everyone is experiencing this stuff. It may be a bit more subtle for those that aren't really kind of in tune with it, but we're all riding a wave right now. And what a wave
We
it is.
are, we are, and I think for those of us that are a bit more seasoned and long in the tooth, I think the kind of like the subtlety is lost on us slightly, isn't it? If you think
Mm,
about it, because it all feels as intense as it possibly can do, and because we've been managing these really frisky energies for such a long time, there's a lot of, there's this perpetual soul fatigue that comes into it, where we just want to kind of basically pack our bags and go to the woods or go to the beach. I'm very close to the beach here in Devon, kind of thing. It's exactly where I'm going to be going later on. So to get
yeah.
some water, get some elemental vibrations, and to kind of really just tune into what's coming through and what's coming up, really. But more to the point, just to relax.
It's
Um,
so important. I,
yeah, it really is.
I'm feel very, very blessed to be honest at the moment that I'm self-employed because I don't feel I can work a normal 9 to 5 like I used
Mm,
to. I
no.
I am very, very in flux with my working structure. I work weird hours, weird days, and just move things about based on how
Mm,
I feel in the energy in any moment. Sometimes it really doesn't go to plan, and some days I'm
no.
really in flow. But that's just feels like the energy right now. You just have to go with whatever's coming through, with whatever you're feeling. And of course, that's incredibly challenging if you're in a really fixed structure with your work. I feel very lucky in that regard, that we get to do what we
I
do.
absolutely, and this is what we're being called to do, and it kind of segues nicely into what we wanted to look at this morning about honoring our calling in whatever way that presents itself. I mean, we're not meant to be tied to a clock. We're not meant to be tied to the rigidity of a routine and hours of the day and fixed lunch breaks and everything. So like that very kind of unnatural environment of the 9 to 5. I mean, we've been kind of like on an emotional and a physical level, been rejecting that for quite a considerable period of time. So the fact that you have the opportunity to do that, but it's also we also have that human side of the brain where we like when we do take the time, we're feeling like, oh, I should be doing something. It's
Yeah,
it's it's that balance. It's getting it right within ourselves, as within, so without, in order to balance the existence we have around us. And meanwhile, as we approach the Lion's Gate in the way that we're doing, we're getting a set of protocols that's coming through from the higher realms that I on one side is saying, just relax, just flow into it, like lean into the energies, all of the rest of it. And then there's this other handbook that's coming out that's saying, this is your master lifetime. Like, like step up, get your master cloak on. If you're not doing it, where are you, sort of thing. Get on board quickly. So it's almost like on a human level, the messages that we're receiving can almost be a little bit confusing. So how do you balance that?
mm,
And this is what we're going to be looking at, I feel, with our event together on the 8th of the 8th. And it's like absolutely honoured to be celebrating the Lionsgate with you again.
amen,
It's
amen, brother.
it just, I would not miss it for the world, and here we are. But my God, things are different from the way that they were when we first started doing it, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I think you make such a good point there about trying to find this balance. And I think it's very
Mm,
easy for us to feel with our like human minds, like when like we're being given a task and we have to get on with it, almost like the boss is
mm,
calling, and we have
yeah.
to. Okay, that means we have to hurry, and we move into this nervous system state where we're like, okay,
Mm,
got to push, got to go harder, got to do this, got to do that. But as you say, at the same time, we're being called just to be within ourselves and be within the
mm,
moment. And how do you balance those two things? How do you be in flow? And I think it is that human, that monkey mind, isn't it, that draws us to that other place, almost of panic, that we need to get away from and come back to center. Now,
yeah.
I had a little bit moment the other day. I was in the car and I stopped at some traffic lights and I was watching two kids in the park playing, just kicking a ball backwards and forwards to each other. And I was thinking, when I was a kid, I would love to go and do that with my friends. And there was no purpose, there was no goal, there was no reason for doing it other than to be there in that moment and kick a ball.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I was sat there watching them thinking, if I was to try and do that now, I would be like, what's the point? What's the purpose? What do I get out of it? And that's the way that my mind works. And I was a bit saddened by that because I feel like we've lost, as we become adults, we lose that part of ourselves where we can just do something purely for the enjoyment of doing it and no other reason. And that's something I'm kind of aspiring to sort of try and step back into. I think we've been so conditioned in our lives that, okay, we've got to get all of the work done. This is our schedule for the day. Even if we make up the schedule for ourselves, once we've made that schedule, that's what has to get done for the day. And we have to get the washing up done, and we have to get the laundry done, and
Yeah.
we have to run the kids to school, and we have to do all of those things. And we get to a point where actually we can't think about doing something unless it has a focus, unless there is a
Mm,
point to it. and we've lost
Yeah,
that innocence of just
that
doing something
childlike
for doing
innocence.
something. Yeah, and I wonder if that's, I'm just thinking out loud really as we're talking here, but I wonder if that's how we need to be approaching our spirituality. Just, you know,
I think you've made the most important point of the time here, David. Actually, I think that's exactly what we need to be doing is returning to that childlike innocence. And what you've just uncovered inadvertently is probably the trauma response that many of us have to
yeah,
waking up on the ascension path when realizing the world is not how it actually was when we were born into 3D, because the wool has been removed. You know, like the old expression, pulling the wool over our eyes. Well, you know, we were born into a world that specialized in that. That was
yeah,
the illusion of the third dimension. And in order to move through the gateways of awakening that we've had, though those, you know, the wall, the seven veils, whatever you want to call them, have been well and truly stripped away, leaving us with a lack of childlike innocence, because the world around us has the potential to look so constraining and so dark, and we're all waking up from that. So there's the trauma point which we are navigating, you know,
mm,
making peace with our inner child, in our own personal inner child, you know, finding out where the trigger points are, allowing the shadow work to do to do its work, whether it's gentle or otherwise, usually the latter, and restoring that childlike innocence, that grace, that joy, that flow into our personal mastery, which we're also advancing through
yeah,
at a phenomenal rate. And so it's almost like the key to this is somewhere in the middle, isn't it? So,
yeah,
you know, we become the masters of our reality by adopting that innocence, that childlike joy, that love, that relaxation, and that requires us to utterly reject, if you want to use that, it's quite a strong word, reject, to basically walk away from the construction of our previous existence. So, you know, it's a right old bugger's muddle, as my granddad used to say. My granddad came from Wolverhampton and he used to use that use that term quite, a right old bugger's muddle sort of thing. And so that's where I feel we are at the moment. That's a very important point.
yeah. There's a lot of truth in that. Thank you, Tim. Yeah,
Mm.
and I guess that just comes down to letting go. You know, go for a walk, sit in the forest,
Mm.
meditate, and just see what happens. Don't be rigid. Don't be too structured. Just go with the flow. And I say this all the time, but intent is everything. If
Oh,
you
absolutely.
if you have a goal in your life to step into your personal power, to achieve mastery, to take control of your world, of your reality, whatever that goal is, as long as if that is ever present in your mind, that's what you're
Mm.
going to do. Because when you're thinking about that, when that's on your mind, you are literally shifting the vibration of your body into alignment with that. Therefore, you resonate with it. And through the law of attraction, you manifest the circumstances into your life to make that happen. As long as if you put that intent into it, that's what will happen. And then you can let go. Then you can go down the park, you can go to the beach, you can do what it
Mm.
is, and just trust that the circumstances will manifest themselves for you to take
Yeah.
that next leap forward. Look out for signs for the universe, look at numerology, look at random white feathers that appear before you and what were you thinking about in that moment. Look for random coincidences, for opportunities that step up to, if you see a meditation on YouTube or a workshop or something, tune into the energy of that, see how that feels. Does that resonate with you? Is this something you feel guided to? If not, it's okay, just move past it. But
Yeah.
just be in flow with yourself, with what your body, what your heart is telling you, and
Mm.
trust and keep that intent, and it will all work out. It'll all work
Absolutely.
out.
Signs from the universe. That's really important, because there's a lot of people at the moment that are just waking up, David. Like, as you know, there's like a whole sea of people that
Mm,
are suddenly, I mean, it's one of the biggest and the fastest soul awakenings that we'll ever witness on this planet. We've gone, um, in the first half of this year, from the goal, the like the tipping point, the golden ratio of 50% to 60%. And as predicted, as Serapis Bey said, there's a plateau. There's a plateau now while we settle into that balance that is inevitably in our favor, because everybody who's adopted this path of mastery has actually got to start thinking and acting and being that master, rather than just kind of like, platitudes talking about it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel that we will rest at that 60% for a little while everybody catches up.
Yeah.
And how else are we going to do it apart from lean into it
That's
and
it.
to take the time and with this huge wave of people that have just woken up, they're going to need the signposts. They're going to, I mean, like my favorite was getting nearly T-boned by a sign written van that had had my message written on the side of the van. This was years ago, about 10 years ago. And I was asking for my answer. Where's my answer? Come on, universe, give it to me. And then like stopped about an inch away from a vehicle that pulled out. I nearly T-boned the vehicle, sort of thing, and there it was, just sign written directly in front of me. And I was like, great, thank you very much. So
Amazing.
that's learn what to look for. Look for the feathers, look for the angel numbers, look for the sign written vans, or the messages on billboards, or simply ask for guidance from somebody who knows what they're talking about. It's the way forward.
Yeah. There's no limit to the number of ways that they can give us these messages. The most 3D avenues can bring about the most profound wisdom. It's just being
They
about
can.
in the right place at the right time, which of course you always are,
Mm.
because they drop that in. I did a whole workshop last night talking about
Yeah,
divine interventions, and that's
yeah.
essentially what these moments are on a much smaller scale. It's where, the teams of light just drop in and go, bam, drop
Here
this
you
in
are.
front of you, and it can be completely profound and life changing.
It is. It is. Life changing and profound is pretty much the key, isn't it? I think
It's
at the
kind of
moment.
life at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. Every
Mm.
single month, I feel like I get to the end of the month and I'm not the same person that began that month.
No, 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 no. We're changing rapidly.
Yeah.
That's it's the pace is so quick. This is, I feel, what is kind of almost the stumbling block for us at the moment, is to be adaptable. And as Merlin said, expect the unexpected. If you're looking
Mm.
for energy conformity, if you're looking for your spiritual routine, if you're looking for the things that you've been through before and you're comfortable with that's not how it's going to work. It's going to come at an angle that, as 2020 proved, is going to be a complete surprise. So,
Mm.
however you are navigating it, be prepared to adapt yourself energetically. You can only do that when you're in flow.
Yeah.
So when we come together and we work on the eighth, David, I think this is going to be a big part of what we're presenting together, is the flow, the adaptation, the adoption of this master self, but not doing it in a way that we maybe previously thought that we were going to.
Yeah.
Exciting
That's it.
times. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I can't wait. The Lion's Gate is always just the most transformative time. I love the
Hmm.
solstices, but there's something about the Lion's Gate. I,
Hmm.
I don't know. There's just something about it, and we've seen some of the
It's a
biggest
spiritual
transformations
peak.
across this planet. You know, but
Yeah.
it's all one really. The way I see it, we start on the June solstice, which kicks off an event, and then and it's like we don't stop from there. Like beginning of June, the
No.
energy builds towards the solstice. We have the solstice, it builds towards the Lion's Gate, and then you get a brief little dip, and then it begins to build up against the winter solstice. And it's always a journey for me. I say the winter solstice, the December solstice, I always feel
Hmm.
like that's a completion period for the year. Like throughout that year, we've been on one journey that we've been moving forward, and it's like it all comes to a climax at that December solstice, and we're complete, and then we move forward to the next phase again.
Yeah.
It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful journey.
It is. It is. And I think when we come together at the end of this year, we're going to have. I mean, I'm being quite careful to actually create marker points this year, because I've noticed, in particularly in 2023 and 2024, so much happens in the space of that 12 months that it's impossible to remember everything unless you're actually, I've had to go through my old videos on
Mm.
YouTube to find out what I was actually talking about. What happened in February? What happened in April? He was like, oh my God, I've forgotten all about it. And again,
Yeah.
so I'm being cautious this year to make sure that I'm keeping a good log of our progress, because it's been massive. It really has. And Lionsgate's the peak. It's the cherry on top of the spiritual pie. You know what I mean, or the cake, or whatever you want to call it. And it's the point at which all of the physical implementation occurs. So you have all of the energy that's been built up from the beginning of the first 8 months, and the preparation that we're going to kind of be lining up for the four, and it's when action is taken. So it's
Mm.
the time where Leo fire, like standing up in that mastery, roaring, or just simply being maybe the lazy lion who sits down in the sun and takes a nap when it needs to. It's we have no idea what we're going to be dealing with for the last part of the year, apart from the fact that we are being required to just flow and understand and trust that the universe is holding this process as well. So
Without a doubt.
looking
Interestingly, though,
forward to
this
it.
year the Lionsgate's so a lot the last few years we've had massive planet changing events really happening, like things
Mm.
for Mother Earth herself, for the people, big shifts. If we go back and we look at like the storm layer, and then
Mm.
the construction of the Earth
Oof.
Macabre, and a whole number of things. If I like you, once it's done, it's gone, and I forget about it. The one thing I
Yeah.
wish I could change is to go back to 2012 and tell myself to write a diary of everything that happened.
Oh,
It would have been amazing
absolutely.
to chronicle this whole process. But this
Mm.
year, I feel like we've had a bit of a step change, because
Yeah.
we've just undergone a massive planetary shift at the solstice. We had a reactivation
Mm.
of the Ascension flame within the hearts of every single person on this planet, and that was our big
Mm.
planet moving moment. And the Lionsgate, what Melchizedek's talking about, is about us, those of us that are on the path and those that are awakened, and it's our time to step forward now. We've done the planetary thing, and it's time to celebrate us and for us to take the next step on our journey. And I think that's really
Mm.
exciting, if no other reason than it's like leading up to this point, it's like every single one of these big alignments has been so important that we've crammed all of the big planet shaping stuff into it. And actually, this time round, that's not the main focus. We've got time, we've
No.
got space to start focusing on us. And of course,
Mm.
you beautiful soul watching this video right now, you are planet shaping yourself. That's who you are. That is your power and your strength. Gone are the
Yeah.
days of us fumbling around in the dark trying to make a little bit of change in our life. We have the power to reshape the entire world around us in a moment.
We do.
It's
Mm.
it's honestly hard to comprehend how powerful we are right
It
now. And I
is.
think if we could comprehend it, we probably would ascend on the spot. I think that's kind of where we
Yeah.
are right now. It's about recognizing our power so that we can
Mm.
use it. And this is what, Melchizedek's been talking about the last few months in my monthly Ascension updates through the channel messages I've been
Mm.
doing. It's about personal power. And of course, what the Lionsgate is this year is the teams of light stepping forward with an incredible opportunity to enable us to do just that. I'm wondering
Yeah.
about just reading that message from Melchizedek quickly, if you don't mind, Tim.
Oh, please do, David. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a message I channeled from Melchizedek, just basically talking about the energies to expect for the Lionsgate this year and the opportunity that lies ahead of us. It says, "Greetings, my beloved sons and daughters. The Lionsgate rapidly approaches, a time that brings with it the opportunity of great transformation for all those ready to take the stand. You are to witness an alignment not seen by another soul in physical incarnation. This alignment is to bring with it an influx of source light direct from the great Godhead. Within this ray is carried the golden template for life as a master. It contains all of the necessary requirements, knowledge, and wisdom in order to reach self-actualization. For millennia, These souls who have achieved their ascension often traveled amongst the darkness, searching for breadcrumbs to lead them to the next chapter of their journey. The opportunity being presented to the Masters of Earth is the gift of an instructional manual, downloaded into the imprint of your being. This shall instill you with all that you need to greatly expedite your journey home, for all that is needed shall be held within, pre-programmed for release at the time of initiation. Do not underestimate this opportunity, my beloved. It is one that has never been offered before, but is done in recognition of your tireless service to the evolution of humankind. It is done in reciprocation for your continued efforts towards the ascension of planet Earth. Stand tall, my child. Accept your birthright and reclaim your power as a manifestation of the great and mighty I Am on Earth. Yours in great anticipation, Melchizedek. Thank you.
Absolutely
Melchizedek.
stunning. Thank you, David. Ooh. a dose of the golden light straight from the Godhead. Well, that's why we're being asked to basically flow into this and relax into it. So
yeah,
this, my lovelies, is what we've got in store coming up.
What he's talking about, in the past, the masters have fumbled around in the darkness, looking for the next steps of their journey. I think many of us can relate with that as well. But
absolutely, yeah.
We're so blessed right now to have a plethora of YouTube videos, Facebook videos, and books and crystals in abundance all around us. But really, this started shifting 100 or so years ago when a few amazing mediums really started channeling the ascended masters, Saint Germain in particular, and some of the archangels like the beloved archangels speak work that Tim and I have done together. And that really brought a whole new level of spirituality into the open that is so accessible to us. That we can learn about these things and we can push forward on our path. Going back, a couple of 100 years, that just wasn't as readily available as it is now. And Ascension,
it was the Dark Ages, literally.
Yeah, like the darkest points on this planet, as dark as things seem right now. That was a whole nother level. And people still ascended through that. It's truly an incredible, absolutely mind-boggling achievement. But, not only are we already blessed because we have such an abundance of knowledge and information around us, but what the gift that they are offering is, as they said, an instructional manual to be downloaded within our being that basically contains like the full roadmap of everything that we need to know in order to achieve our own personal ascension and to fulfill our path here on Earth. And it's to be downloaded into our system, and it's like alarms being set. Okay, right. Whether at this point, at this point of this journey, we release this bit of information, which will trigger them onto the next step of their journey, and then maybe you integrate that, and a couple of months down the line, the next piece is time released. It's literally everything that we need in order to step forward into our true power and onto our path, and that is a mind-boggling gift.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's never ever been given before. Think how old the universe is, how vast the universe is. This opportunity has never been given before.
It really hasn't, and this is what makes this period of time so amazing. I think this is I feel almost there's a bit of a thank you involved from the higher realms to those of us who have dedicated, because it was a big thing to do. What we've done here together collectively is a big thing to do. We're far from done yet, but there's also there has been that acknowledgement recently that well, if you take this mantle on, you are going to need to step up, and here we are. We've done it. So we're on the way. Grand things are on the horizon, my friend.
That's it.
Loving it.
We're living in unprecedented times, and I continue to get blown away by the support that we're being given right now. Things that I never thought would be possible are just being offered up,
handed over.
And that's because, as you say, the incredible work that we've done as a collective. Whether you're watching this video and thinking, I haven't done anything, you know,
Yes, you
maybe
have.
not. Yeah, you have. Maybe
Yes, you
maybe
have.
not. Yeah, you have. Your
Yes,
power,
you have.
your impact that you have on the
Mm,
world around you is staggering. If only you could
mm,
see it from the higher perspective. I've been shown this a number of times, the impact that we have on the world around us just by
mm.
being in it, just by, again, setting that intent to hold a vibration. You know, if you meditate, or even if you're not thinking about that, if you're meditating, if you're doing chakra work, if you're doing your own personal energy management work, you're shifting your vibration, and therefore you are shifting the vibration of the world around you, because it reaches such a long way. You are having a huge imprint on this world when you walk
Mm,
down the street and you smile at someone, or you make
mhm.
eye contact with someone in a shop. These, you are transmitting and receiving at all times light
Yeah.
codes, information, wisdom, and you literally have the power to trigger ascension in someone
Mm.
with a look. That's that is a crazy thing, but
It's beautiful.
that is the power of your vibration right now. You know,
Mm,
people back in the day would go to church every single week and have that divine experience. And
mm.
whatever your belief system about religion is, the one thing that I've always liked is that you can walk into a church that's been, as long as if it's being used in dedication to God through
Mm.
whatever religious, you walk into a church and you can feel the vibration in there. You just,
Yeah,
they
you can. It's
naturally
an
have,
awesome. There's a palpable shift, isn't there?
yeah, that
You
feeling of
know, whenever
grace
you
when you
enter
walk
those
into a
spaces.
church. Yeah. And that alone, just
Morning.
being in that space on a regular basis, can create a big shift within someone. But you emanate that vibration just by being you, because you are connected to that light. You are literally an anchor point to that same vibration that's been anchored into all those religious temples and churches and things like that throughout the years. You hold that and you share that every single place that you go
Yeah.
to, and the effect of that is staggering. So, well done, you. Yeah, pat on the
Yeah.
back. You've done
Pat
awesome.
on the
You've
back.
contributed to this process. And as Tim
Mhm.
says, as Melchizedek said in the message, these gifts, these opportunities we're being presented with is in recognition of that, and in reciprocation, he said, for the continued work that we're going to do as we move forward. And the more we step into our power, the better we can do that job, the easier we can transform this entire world for us and for everyone. Because
Mhm.
that's what we're here to do.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Wow. So we've got fun stuff to do in August.
We have, yeah, it's gonna,
Little bit of preparation work, and
yeah,
the event that David and I are doing together is, of course, on the 8th of the 8th. We'll be
yeah,
beginning at 7 p.m. UK time,
that's it.
and diving in with this wonderful, wonderful collection of energies and gifts and planetary work, and it's going to be good. It's going
It's
to be
going to be
good.
amazing.
Whatever's coming through for this Lionsgate, it's big. It's big
Yeah,
stuff.
it is, because this is the year for it. This is the year of mastery, and the
It
Lionsgate
is.
will not disappoint.
It will not. Thank you, David. Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much,
much,
Tim,
my
for
friend.
having
Oh,
me here. It's a joy and an
it's
honor
been
as
wonderful.
always.
It's like
Lovely to connect with all the beautiful people here.
joining me in the sun. I am starting to cook, funnily enough, and it's only 8:30 in the morning. It's going to be a hot day. Hot
It
day.
really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Get down that beach.
Oh
Wherever,
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
get up. Put your feet on the
It's
grass.
calling.
Yeah, yeah, wherever
It
you
is
are,
calling.
put your feet on the grass, go hug a tree. Just
Mm.
take a moment for you. Throw
Yeah.
everything else out the window and just
Mm.
be. No
Absolutely.
preconceived ideas, no nothing. Just you and that moment in time. And just see where it takes you.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Tim. Thank
Thank
you
you,
all,
David,
everyone.
and sending you all so much love.
Thanks
And
so
we
much
will
love.
see you on the 8th of the 8th.
Yeah, we will. Looking forward to it.
Bye
Bye-bye.
for now. Bye.